My name is Reverend John Mark Duer. I serve at All Saints Cathedral in charge of evangelism and outreach. And I'm glad to take this moment just to share with you and talk to you about relationship, both to people who are single by choice, or single by circumstances, or single by situations, or single by default, or single by blaming others while you actually should have been responsible for the things you should be doing. But I'm not just talking to single people. You may be psychologically thinking you're married or you're in a relationship, therefore you are hooked up, connected, or in some form of a thing. But to begin with, we need to ask ourselves the first question: what is a relationship? Particularly, what is a Christian relationship? This is when two people have a thing for one another. That's the basic definition. But that is, from a Christian perspective, it means there is a connection. There's a feeling one has for the other. You like someone, and therefore you've taken the courage and the boldness, a step, to go out and talk to the person and tell the person, by the way, this is how I feel. And the other person connects with you, because we have some who actually think that they are in a relationship with the other, and the other one does not even know that they are in a relationship. So you call the other your friend, well, they have no idea. Maybe they actually are in a relationship with someone else. So a Christian relationship is a relationship between two Christians who uphold Christian values in that relationship. Relationship between two Christians who acknowledge that God has ordained that people are in a position to connect, bond, and share a lot of things in common. But they uphold Christian values as expounded in the scripture. And because that becomes the guiding principle in their relationship, they then can be able to say this relationship is Christian, because Christ comes first in the word Christian, and therefore the values of Christ are upheld. And when we talk about the values of Christ, it's a whole long list of things, but some of the things we can be able to share is kindness, respect for one another, allowing the other to be themselves the way God created them to be. Not that you superimpose your own understanding of what kind of a person they should be. Christian relationship brings out character of the spiritual gifts that someone has: kindness, goodness, peace, love. As you see all that in someone's life, you can be able to say, this is a Christian. I love you for being a Christian, and therefore I am in a Christian relationship with you. And Christ is at the center of our relationship. Is it possible that that relationship can be approved by the parents? Because some of us ask that maybe, suppose my parents don't approve. And parents sometimes may not approve of a relationship for several reasons. Number one, maybe you come from a different tribe or cultural background. It could be social-economic reasons why your parents don't like the other person. Maybe you come from a really humble background while the other comes from a pretty well-off. And you know, Kenyans, we can be coming from some really well-off backgrounds. And some very humble. So humble, the word humble is actually humiliating. But you know what? It is possible. Parents sometimes could be saying, maybe I just don't like the person. Academic. You have a degree, the other one has a certificate. You have a master's, the other one don't have anything to show for they are having gone to school. Parents may not just like the person because of the way they present themselves, from the way they dress, the way they look, the way they carry themselves, the way they talk. Many reasons parents may be able to bring. Some could be religious. You may be Catholic. The other one is an SDA. The other one is an Anglican. The other one is a Muslim. That's even worse. Don't even go there. Okay? Or you just like the person and the guy has no interest in any faith. Or he may be more an Anglican than he is a Christian. In other words, he doesn't show anything for his faith. The parents sometimes see the things we don't see. And it's possible, ladies and gentlemen, that your parents could come up and say, please don't relate with that particular person because there's something we see in them that may not just be right. Now, yes, our parents have a right to their opinion, and that opinion is important, that we actually listen. And so don't brush them aside. The reason is, one, they're your parents and they love you. And to an extent, some of them really want the best for you. But it doesn't mean they always have all the answers. There is no monopoly of knowledge or of wisdom or grace. It is possible your parents may not approve of a relationship, but you are seriously in love with someone, and you may not even be able to see the negative things that that particular person has that the parents are actually seeing. So then what do? I believe you can do one of the three things. Number one is first listen to the parents' opinion and weigh the options. Weigh the options and find out, are they making some sense? Try and find from one of your best friends, are these qualities that my parents are saying are not in this person or in this lady or this guy really real? Because the truth is, your parents have been alive a little longer than you are, and they may have more experience in understanding people, character, and personality. So listen to them before you make a conclusion. Seek second opinion, third, fourth, fifth opinion. That is number one. Number two is show your parents respect. You know, a lot of our parents care enough. They would go to an extent to share and show us if there's something wrong in a relationship we are in. But don't forget that showing them respect does not mean you always have to agree with them. Sometimes you may disagree. But when you disagree, still disagree with respect. And let them know that they are your parents. They feel proud when you respect them and show them. It's of course biblical. The Bible says, honor your father and mother. But then finally, one thing you must be able to do is that you must make your own decision. And the decision must be based on serious, solid principles that will not change in spite of the relationship. Don't say, I love him so much, I don't care whether he has flaws, he will change. Let me tell you, nobody gets into a relationship to change others. Now, this is a principle that works, and it has worked over the years. People don't change because they are in love with you. And you are being in love with them won't make them change. But they choose to change because they desire to be a better person, having been in love with you. Don't force them to change. They will not. They will try to impress you. But people will not change because you ask them to. But they will change because they see the need to. That is scriptural. It is biblical. The old comes and it stays as long as you allow it to. But in Christ, you're a new creature. The old goes and the new one comes. People will change because they love you, but they will not change because you asked. So don't go there hoping they will change. If they love you and there are things about them that they are not right, they will choose to change. Now that is important. So what do I do in being in a relationship when my parents don't approve it? Time changes a lot of things. Time tells. Don't be in a hurry to get married. Like I know people who get married within 3 months simply because you want to run away from your parents' criticism or the hostility at home, or all your friends are getting married and so you want to jump into a relationship. That's not a reason. There are millions others who are single and are searching, and some are satisfied and some are happy. Of course, some are suffering and all that, but don't do it to run away. You can't get into a relationship with a baggage and expect to walk scot-free. It's not always easy. So, work with your parents, work with your relatives, work with friends, but also listen to your sixth sense. It helps. Don't ignore it, because if you do, it is to your peril. When can you know you're ready? All right, my friends, a question a lot of people ask: when can I know I am ready? Ready for a relationship, or ready for a serious relationship, or ready for commitment, or ready for marriage? Well, that question is not always very easy, because different people get ready at different times in their lives. Some may even ask, what is their best age of getting married? There is no best age of getting married, but there is an age you shouldn't get married. You shouldn't get married if you are not ready. Number two, you shouldn't get married if you're too young. And when I talk about too young, if you're a teenager, you shouldn't get married. But that doesn't mean teenagers don't get married, and it works. We have a lot of communities where people get married when they are very young, and the families hold on. But it's not the best age in life to get married. You're still growing. So when do I know I am ready? Number one, you need to be psychologically, emotionally, physically, and spiritually ready. What do I mean by? Let's start with the physical age. The physical age, like for a woman, you need to be physically prepared that your body can actually be able to take all that gets into relationship. You need to be emotionally prepared in that you are mature enough to be able to make decisions which will be lifelong and will have an impact in your life and in the life of many others who are around you. Spiritually is that you need to be so sure you are spiritually stable, because some of us are not ready spiritually. You are not ready to make decisions for people. Like when God blesses you with children in a relationship, you will have to make decisions for them that are long term. But then you might be asking, John Mark, we're not talking about marriage, you're just talking about relationship. The relationship is, I want to have a boyfriend. Am I ready? You will know when you're ready based on how you treat the person, and two, how you react to them, but more so on how you react to the situations that you go through as you grow in your relationship. Take for example, if you can't control your anger, if he's 5 minutes late, you're throwing tantrums. The truth is this, what do you want him to do when it is you who is late? Do you want him to throw tantrums as well? Said no, he should understand that I am maybe a lady, so he shouldn't keep a lady waiting. Well, then a lady should be patient. A lady should be patient. The Bible says love is patient, it's kind. It doesn't hold a record of wrong. If you're not ready to be patient with each other, then you're not ready for each other. You're not ready for a relationship. If you're not ready to commit for a lifelong thing, then you're not ready to commit for that lifelong relationship. But are you looking for a relationship because you're bored or tired or you're just lonely or your friends are all having everybody else? Then you're not ready because you have not made up your mind what it is you want. Others are making up their minds for you. When do you know you are ready? You are ready when your heart tells you, I think I can handle a relationship other than my own. I am comfortable in my skin. I have enjoyed being single, and therefore I can enjoy being in a relationship. Now, a lot of people get into relationship with a lot of baggage, hoping that the other will make life easy for them. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, don't get married or don't get into a relationship with baggage. What do I mean by that? Don't run hoping someone will carry them for you. I'm not in this thing to carry your baggage. I'm in this thing that you walk with me and I walk with you. So I must come the lightest I can be. But does that mean we don't have baggage as we get into relationship? Yes, we do. The point is this, to begin with, first, it is your baggage. So be ready to carry it before I help you carry it. And two, if you can let it go so that you are light, because ours is a long marathon race, and the less baggage we have, the better. It could be from a past experience, past failures. Just be careful how you get in. Until you've dealt with the previous one, you may not be ready for the next one. So how much baggage do you need to bring on board? If you can bring nothing, the better. But because all of us carry baggage, don't forget that baggage could either make your relationship work or be the reason it breaks up. So you will be ready when you are emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, and physically ready for the next step and the next phase of your life. But you might ask me that, hey, Reverend John Mark, what exactly are you trying to say? That if I've been hurt before, can I get into another relationship? Until you can laugh about the past hurt and until you can comfortably talk about the past hurt, you are not ready. Because, trust me, that is going to be a painful thorn in your relationship. You will be suspicious of him and or her every time. In fact, every move they make will always be telling you, hey, that is a telltale sign. So you who's looking for someone to relate with, watch out for someone who will always be reminding you of how they have been hurt by others before, because those are baggages that you don't want to bring into your relationship. And that begins with how we treat our past, including how you treat your ex. If your ex is still a thorn in your flesh, maybe you're not ready for the next relationship or the next commitment. I could go on until tomorrow, but you know what? Let's ask the next question. How can I groom my boyfriend? Oh, that's a hard one. You know, a lot of us fall in love with people for who they are and what they see. And then the mistake they make is this. I want to change you. I want to change the way you dress. I want to change the way you look. I want to change because I don't like the way you look. Then maybe you didn't fall in love with me. You fell in love with the way I looked. What happens if I can't put on the clothes that I was wearing? I always remember from my own experience, a lady once told me she didn't like the way I looked. Well, once I got married and my clothes changed, then she said, now you look better. I could fall in love with you. And I said, you missed me. It was my clothes you were looking for. And you could have walked with me if you didn't like my clothing. The question then is this: how do you tell the person you love that maybe their dresses don't look nice. Now, first, you need to be polite. Because the Bible tells us, speak the truth, but speak the truth in love. If you don't like my shoes, maybe that could be the best gift you could give me for my birthday. A new pair of shoes. I'll appreciate it. Maybe you don't like the way I put on my tie. Maybe the best thing you'd be able to do is help me change my tie without letting me know that I don't look good in the other tie. If you always criticize me, maybe that's the only thing I will be able to remember every time I see you, that you always criticize the way I look, the way I dress, the way I comb my hair. Now, if you don't like something about me, then it's possible for us to bring it up in a conversation between the two of us. But it does not begin with, I don't like the way you do. The I person usually is an accusatory. You see, that's why we have 5 fingers. Now, if you say, I don't like the way you look, you already have accused me of something. I'm guilty as charged. But if I say, hey, by the way, I love the way you look. In fact, you look nice in African attire. That's a polite way of saying, if you have more African attire, put on that more often. And of course, the African attire might bring out a better figure in me than the t-shirt I like. And my t-shirt might be one that doesn't look very nice, doesn't show the best out of me. Or maybe you don't like my hairstyle. You can then suggest, by the way, I love it when your hair maybe is flowing, or I love it when you comb your hair in a particular manner. Then that reminds me that, wow, when I'm going to meet you, I comb my hair in a particular manner. It reminds me, I become conscious. But I can't come in and say, I don't like that shirt, I don't like that trouser. By the way, I don't like that watch, I don't like... If you don't like anything about me, oh, then you most likely don't like me. And so the question is, what exactly then were you looking for? Who did you like in the first place? Is it me or what I look like? Or you have a mental picture of what I should be looking like that maybe you want to. Remember, the Bible says God created man in his own image. Maybe you're trying to create me in your image. And if you create me in your image, trust me, that's not me. Those are 2 different people. And 2 different people can't be having the same body. Scientifically, it's not possible. Spiritually, it's impossible. And relationship-wise, I will be the dream person you never met. And if I'm the dream person you never met, you're in the wrong relationship. Because when maybe after 10 years, you'll be saying, he changed. I didn't change. Actually, you left me and created someone. Actually, when I do premarital counseling, I tell people that when 2 people meet, there are actually 6 different characters in the story. There is the John Mark that you met. Let's call him A. Now, the John Mark that you saw before you met me is person A. But when John Mark realizes I'm going to meet you, I create an environment that will try to impress you. Now, the impressing John Mark is person B. But then when I realize I either impressed you or did not impress you, I'm going to react to your reaction. And therefore, I could either go up in my character or go down to fit what your expectation was. Most likely, that is John Mark number 3. Now, the problem is you never met John Mark number 1. You only saw him from a distance and you never met him. So you might relate with number 3 or number 2. And after 2 or 3 years of courting, I soften up and become number 1, and you'll say I changed. It's just that I wanted to impress you, and maybe I just wanted to make you happy, and therefore you had never met me. So the question then is this. It also applies to you. You also develop 3 people. So 6 people are in this relationship. Which one were you looking for? The real me, or the one that adapted to impress you, or the one that finally softened as a result of your reaction towards number 2? I prefer number 1. Without the mask, the real me. The one who can get annoyed and tell you I'm angry, or the one that will walk away when you're happy. And because I don't understand how you react to situations. Maybe that's the person you should be looking for. Maybe you don't like my trouser. It's too short. Maybe it's too tight. Or maybe my t-shirt is too flimsy and doesn't look very nice. But how do you deal with me? You can groom me by walking with me. I can groom you by walking with you. But the way we do it, speak the truth in love, show kindness towards one another, forgive when it hurts badly. That can make me a better person as we go. But then you might be asking, hey, why are Christian brothers boring? Hey, guys, are you boring for real? But it is said that Christian men are boring. Well, number 1, it could begin with your understanding of Christian men. Are you trying to compare Christian men with the secular boys? Well, secular boys might be more interested in the lady because maybe he's more interested in taking you to bed. So what will he do? He'll do anything to please you. Or he will remember your birthday and buy you a big bouquet of flowers. There's a price to pay to that as well. If I spend 1,000 to buy you flowers, trust me, I'm taking you out for dinner, and that dinner is not free. Because this is the question they always ask. So what was the dinner for? I thought we are going home after this. So you pay a price, maybe you did not intend. But Christian brothers sometimes take a lot of things for granted. Maybe I might be a broke guy, so I don't know how to buy a big flower. But that doesn't mean I can't be creative. Guys, I want you to style up. Be creative. Be poetic, you know. You may not be able to buy a 1,000 bouquet of flowers, but you can write a great poem. You may not be able to write a great poem because you're not poetic, but you can give a surprise by maybe deciding, I'm taking you out for lunch, and I prepared the lunch myself. So instead of us going to Grand Regency for lunch, where I might spend 5 to 6, 7, 10,000 for lunch, maybe I prepared the thing and I've carried a basket. Or a friend of mine, I maybe put in 500 bob in a friend's car, and there is a picnic kit in the back seat. Now that will sweep her off her feet. You don't have to be boring. In fact, being boring shouldn't be a Christian attitude or mentality. Jesus wasn't boring. Why do you think the kids hung around him? Why do you think a lot of people hung around Jesus, including boring people like the Pharisees? The Pharisees, they're called the Sadducees. You know, and the Sadducees, the sad you see. The guys were sad and the guys thought far, but they hung around Jesus all the same. Oh yes, and a lot of women came along and a lot of children came along. Jesus was exciting. Hey, he's our big brother. Let's be exciting. Guys, don't let the girls down. Christianity is exciting. That's why we have a whole eternity to spend in heaven. I would hate to be in heaven if it's boring. And if you're boring, don't be my neighbor in heaven, because I might be moving neighborhood away from you. Oh, and the ladies, what about Christian girls? Some of you are boring. Yeah. Well, you want to sing all the choruses and you want to sing all the do all the verses while I'm telling you I love you. And because you've been too spiritual, I might want to say, hey, baby, I love you. And your eyes look great. And they look down and like, I love you with the love of Christ. And yeah. Instead of telling you, when I see you like this, I'm reminded of God's perfection in creating. And I said, when I think of the goodness He's done for me, I feel like dancing. No, sometimes you may just want to dance a song and make her feel good. Ladies, hey, you're not supposed to be boring. And we are not supposed to be the reason you smile. But be the joy in our hearts. We will be the joy in your hearts. So come on, guys. Make Christian relationship exciting. Spoil your girl, spoil your man. Don't be single-sided. Don't think that he's the only one who is supposed to make you happy. You owe us some degree of happiness as well. Well, I want to answer this last question for today. And that is, I'm not interested in girls. Kind of like I'm shy. Girls really don't move me much. Now, well, we're not saying you're gay. Well, there are those who may be gay. Some don't even know they're gay. Some may not have a close thing to, but some may not, just that they're not interested in girls. This is a guy's question. And even some ladies will say, I'm not interested in men. It's not that you're a lesbian, no. But maybe you just don't find it exciting because nobody excites you. The company of ladies don't excite you. The question then is this: when will you want to? You need to look for a reason to be excited about a relationship. You need to find something in someone that makes you interesting. Well, you may be shy and you may not know. Well, I tell people, when a man hasn't grown to reach the point where he can approach a lady, then allow him to grow. Don't push it. I mean, you might reach 20, 30 before you mature enough. But go at your pace, because when finally you are ready, you'll find the courage to do it. I am from the old school, where I did not believe that the girl should go and tell the boy, I love you, and I think we should have a relationship. Hey, where's the joy of saying I got her? I managed to convince her and I made her. Now, that's my girl. Because if she approached you, what will you be telling guys? Like, hey, by the way, that chick tuned me. Hey, you're supposed to be the man here, okay? You're the man in this relationship, okay? So you be the one that takes the leadership. Hey, we are created to be leaders. And for those who've done man enough, and I encourage you to, men, take initiative. Take the first step. If you're not ready, don't get pushed. Go at your pace. But when you are ready, we are hunters by the way, by nature. Identify the girl, pray about it, walk over to her, introduce yourself, offer a cup of tea. It might be a glass of juice sold near the kitchen, but just go in. You never know. That juice could win you someone for the rest of your life. But you don't have to do it. There are those of us who do it dramatically. You know, some will surprise you with a dinner out, some will surprise you with an offer for something great, but others may just have a sweet in their pocket. And when you finish service or when you from fellowship, he just says, hey, by the way, I know you're tired. This could add some sugar in your system. Said, wow, by the way, sweet is only a bob. Not expensive, but it will touch someone's heart. Or maybe you see her trying to wipe tears from her eyes or sweat, and you offer you a nice, good, clean handkerchief. Handkerchief is $5. And you say, oh, by the way, you can keep that. That's for me. And you trust me, she will remember it. Hey, we don't have to be boring, and we don't have to be shy. But if by nature you are shy, God has a way in which He makes shy people also grow up and make the right decisions and choices. It might be a lady who is saying, but me, I'm shy, I don't like when being approached. Hey, men like shy girls. We don't mind. We feel nice when we talk to a shy girl. Well, there are some who are so aggressive and is like, I want this. Well, yeah, you'll find your match. Not always the time you'll. So don't go for a shy guy simply because he does not know how to say the right thing. But grow at your pace. Move at your step. But if it's a real major problem, ask God to give you the courage and strength. And then talk to someone who will be able to walk with you. Because getting into this thing is a lifelong commitment. Relationship is a race that we must run. And you don't have to run it alone. Friends will walk with you. Guys will hold your hands. And guys, make it a great relationship. I enjoy mine. I love mine. Oh, I love my girl. She's an awesome girl. But it took me time to win her heart. You can do the same. God bless you. Thanks.